Hello, beautiful people, and thank you so much for making me a part of your aerial practice. If you've been keeping up with my channel, you know that this is the third part of a 7-part series. Last week, we slowed it down a little bit with a yin practice, and this week, we're gonna speed it up and try to bring some cardio in our practice and keep it moving. Now, the series is aimed at beginners, but we all start at different places. So no worries if this feels a little overwhelming at any point. You can always slow it down, come into a child's pose, just play around a little bit until you get to a part you're more comfortable with. So oftentimes when students are trying to do more vigorous exercises, they try to make it a race. However, just remember that in this practice, the goal is to move with intention. Each move will be so much more valuable if you are moving with intention and keeping good form. Now, anyways, let's get started. As always, I like to begin with some grounding. Take a moment to leave the day behind. Or if it's a good day, maybe take a moment to breathe that in. My favorite assistant is back. Let each inhale be deeper than the last. Breathing in through the nose and out with a sigh. Once we feel like we've come into our moment, we'll start going into some little neck rolls. It's nice and gentle from side to side. Doing little half circles. If you have a sticky spot, maybe hang on to that spot for a moment. Now with each circle, let's go a little bit further. Remember, we're moving with intention. No jerky movements or anything of that sort. If it calls you, you can make these motions in sync with your breath. Next one, go the whole way. Making for a few full circles. Doing this, of course, very gently and with much awareness. And I'll go the other direction. All right, now let's do this same kind of thing with our shoulders. Starting with little shoulder shrugs. Bringing your scapulas together in the back and shrugging the shoulders down. Rounding forward, bringing them up again. Making a nice circle. Or reverse directions. We're going to move back nice and wide, making these nice giant shrugs. We're chicken winging it back. Ooh, sort of pop. And the goal of this is to get the shoulders nice and warm. Now we're going to reverse directions. You can go forward. Keep doing a weird swim stroke of sort. Okay, now we're going to come to a tabletop position. I'm just going to do a couple of circles around our wrists, making sure that your weight is nice and distributed throughout your fingertips. You don't want to be dumping all your weight into the wrists. It defeats the purpose of it. Just trying to warm them up. Just reverse direction. Now we're going to come back up to our feet. Now we'll start playing with the hammock. For this practice, I didn't say earlier, but you want your fabric about the hip or the top of your hip bone. Start with a wrist wrap. And the easiest way to go about that is to bring your hands forward as if in prayer. Bring your hands back to your face. Wrap them around, allowing the index finger and thumb to hook around. And then you can just work your hands together. Now we're gonna come forward. Right now, while I'm in this half lift, I want to keep in mind that during this time, I'm going to stay nice and engaged through the core. I'm gonna stand nice and grounded through my feet. I should be feeling weight throughout my feet, the ball of my foot, the heel of my foot. And this is gonna give me a nice, strong position to be moving from. Into a half lift. We're just gonna sway it out a little bit. Bring your feet out a little bit for more stability. Should be feeling a nice little stretch in the side body as you do this. You feeling it a little bit in the shoulders. Nothing crazy though. This is mostly about warming up the spine. All right, now we're gonna bring it to center. So you can see where you are. I'm gonna come around so you can better see what I'm doing. So from this half lift, it's gonna start to do some cats and cows. So we're gonna, in order to come into our cat, we're gonna raise our tailbone to the ceiling. Reaching our chest forward. We come into our cows. Breathing in, tailbone reaching to the sky. Breathing out, and as if a string is lifting up your spine, you're gonna round forward. Just do 5 or so more of these. Right, now we're gonna step these up a notch with some disco cats. And the way you're gonna go about doing disco cats is you're gonna stay in that same half lift, and then you're just gonna kind of churn your spine. Oh, this should feel really nice. Should have about 5 of those. Reverse directions. Direction reversal always messes with me. Not alone if you feel that. Okay, so now that we're done with our disco cats, let's go into the side stretches one more time. Like this time we're gonna hold them for a little bit. Okay, so let's go to the left. You're properly warmed up. You probably bend a little further than you could before. Go over to the right. All right, bring it back to center. So from here, we're gonna put on our backpacks. As you can see, I've got the fabric right about where my bra strap would be. Another reference point would be below your scapula. Then I'm just going to lean back into this position. Then I'm gonna come into a nice chair pose. Okay. Now we're gonna take a moment to just have a little fun with where we're at. And we're just gonna bring it around town. If you're new to aerial, this might still be a weird feeling. So just take a little time to play with it. If any movement calls you, by all means, feel free to explore it. Just swaying back and forth. Right, now we're gonna kick it up a notch. We're gonna start doing full circles. And when we do these full circles, make sure to move with intention, staying engaged, particularly when we're right here. We're gonna engage that core. Get about 5 of those in total. Or if other movement calls you, feel free to follow that. Now let's go the other direction. But at any point, if you need to readjust your stilts, by all means, please do. You'll probably be surprised at how much you start to feel the burn. Okay, I lost count, so we'll just do one more. All right, let's lean back and take a moment to sway it out. Now, if you remember how I talked about engaging that core, we're gonna do that again as we do some airplanes. Okay, so when I come into my airplane, I'm gonna really wanna make sure to engage that core because I don't want to be dumping any weight into my lower back. The way I'm gonna come about this is I'm going to come into a chair and I'm gonna push out and come into an airplane. Now I can do this as slowly or quickly as I like, Honestly, you're gonna feel it a lot more if you do it slowly. Let's do 10 of these. I feel like these are really great for the legs. Keeping your arms out wide will definitely work your arms a bit as well. I lost count again. Let's just do 2 more. Okay, lean back 1 more time. And we're gonna stay here for a moment. We're just gonna sway it out again. Okay. Now we're just gonna take a moment to kind of shake it out. I know that can be a lot of sensation if you're not used to it. If you like, you can take a moment to do a child's pose. Okay, so whenever you're ready, we're gonna get into some aerial crunches. But instead of doing them so that we're bringing our feet upward, we're just gonna jump up into it and then allow our feet to slowly fall. And there's 2 ways you can go about this, at least that I'll present. Now, if you like, you can just bring your feet up. It's gonna kind of jump them up, let them go down. So that's option 1. Option 2, you can either hold, or if you want a little extra grip, you can wrap the fabric around your arm. Then we're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna jump up into that crunch, letting it come down. So whichever option you choose, let's do 10 of those. I'll do 5 the harder option and 5 the seated option. Feel free to join me. Holding, 1, 2, 3. Do it again. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Jumping up again. 1, 2, 3. What? I'm okay, I promise. All right, jumping up again. 1, 2, 3. And 1 more time. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I think that was a fast 3. Hey guys, be nice. And if you like, you can keep going that way, or you can join me in the seated version. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hi, Jaxie. And the final one, I think. 1, 2, 3. I'm starting to sweat. What the heck? Jacks, no. All right, now we're gonna come down and sit on our booties and relax. Just kidding. Okay, so what we're gonna do are some aerial pull-ups. We're gonna come into that wrist wrap again. And then we're gonna pull down, like we were trying to pull this thing out of the ceiling, but at the same time, we're gonna be pushing into our feet. Now, I will show you the first one, and then we will do 10 together. All right, so if you like, you can go up on the exhale. Okay, now let's try to do 10 of those together. If that's a little much, totally fine. You can just take a breather for a second. Okay, so now let's do 10 of those together. We've got Jackson here for moral support. Great, so let's go 3 for them. 1, Jackson. 2, 3, 'Now, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel it. Give it a moment, shake it out, maybe pet your cat. All right, just got 5 more to go. We can do it. Breathe in. 1. 2. 3. Wait, fine, you have to reposition your feet a little bit. Woo! Okay, you did the hardest part of the class now. So now we really are going to relax just for a moment and come down into child's pose. Giving yourself a moment, catch your breath. I don't know about you, but I'm nice and sweaty. Whenever you're ready, I'm gonna come back up standing. Now we're gonna do some step ups. The reason I threw this into practice, because if you're new to aerial, it's probably a little uncomfortable to stand on the fabric. This is gonna help you get desensitized to that. In addition to that, it's also a really nice little full body workout. So I'll show you first. I'm gonna start with my left foot. I'm gonna step it up so that the arch of my foot is in the fabric. And then I call these elevators. I think that's what I've heard other instructors call them. We're just gonna reach up nice and high above us. Gonna stay nice and engaged, particularly in the shoulders. Then we're just going to put weight in that foot, and ideally you're gonna know how much core control you have in doing this, because if you aren't nice and engaged when you come up, you are gonna swing. So nice and engaged. I'm just gonna step up while pulling up, and then I'm gonna come back down. All right, whenever you're ready, let's do 5 on that side. And 1. Stepping the foot down to stop any swinging. And 2. See, I wasn't engaged in that one. I swung a little bit. 3, and 4, and 5. And then just take a moment, kind of give your hands a break. You flick some water out. Wave the wrists around a little bit, like you're conjuring up some magic. Help you get through the rest of the workout. Not that you need it. I might though. Then we're gonna step that right foot into the hammock. Do the same on this side. Now we're gonna do 5. Going up on our exhale, first inhale. 1. I've only spun one that one. 2. I'm having a hard time on this side today. 3. 4. 5. Whew. You might find that one side's easier than the other. As you can see, I struggled a bit more with that side. All right, so now we're gonna come into lunges. If you've been doing the other practices with me, you've seen this one before. I'm gonna go ahead and do that wrist wrap. This is going to be here to help us with this little stability. We are not depending on this for a lunge. It's just to help us with stability. We're gonna come down on that right knee, putting left foot forward, and then bend our toes underneath. Then we're gonna come up into a lunge. Then we're gonna pulse that 5 times. Give you a moment to get into position. And then 1. Making sure that your hips are nice and square. 2. 3. 4. And on that final one, we're gonna stay on the floor. Now untuck that toe. We're gonna bring our foot behind us. And then we're just going to switch and do the same on the other side, placing that right foot forward so that you're at about a 90-degree angle with that leg. And we're gonna push up into the ball of foot, tuck that toe underneath in the back so that we can come up on the ball of our foot. We're gonna push in and come up. Just gonna do that 5 times. 3, 4, 5. Okay. We'll just come down on that final set. Light. Okay, now we're going to come into a cool down. So you made it through the hard stuff. We're gonna fan that fabric out. We can make our way into it. This will come back into a bucket seat. And then it's gonna bring our leg around. Might take some situating. Easiest, you can just grab a hold of fabric and push out so your leg can come around so that you can straddle the fabric. Now, if you want to participate in this but you have trouble getting your leg over, you can always lower your hammock for this portion so that you can just step over the hammock so that you can get into the straddle position. Okay, so from here, start cooling down. We're gonna do some cat-cow movements, but we're gonna do it from this nice cozy position here. We're just gonna push forward, rounding forward, rounding that spine. Oh, this should feel really great after that practice. I'm gonna come in like you can reach back and get a little more of a back bend out of it. Making sure to not dump everything in your lower back. We're staying engaged as we do this stretch. Push forward. Arch. Push forward. Arch. Okay, and then from here, just gonna pull out the fabric so that our legs are covered. They're fully supported at least. And then, if you like, you can have your feet totally covered. I'm leaving mine out so you can have a little bit better of an idea of what's going on. So first, I'm going to bend my left leg in. And then if I like, if this is enough, I can stay right here. If I like, I can reach for my toes on the right foot. If I want to get a side bend out of it, I can, reach my hand over. I feel like I can fold over my right foot. Whatever calls you. I'm going to fold over my right leg, gently grabbing my toe. Stay here for a few moments. Allowing your heart rate to come down. All right, then I'm just gonna bring both legs out again. Bending the right foot in, so I can do the same on the other side. I would do whatever you did for the other leg to keep it even. For me, this will be folding over on my left leg. Okay, now we're just going to take a moment to come into a Buddha cocoon. Just do whatever feels right. If you like, you can hug the fabric and push into it to get more stretches. And just sit like a potato. It feels good to do some head circles like we did before. Whatever you like. Final option I'll offer here. If you'd like, you can place your foot up so that you can get a nice stretch, like a forward fold. If that's too much for you. No worries. You can just come forward and fold over like this. Pick your own adventure here. If you stayed in the cocoon and need to stretch your other leg, please do that. Okay. Just occurred to me that we did not have an inversion in this practice. You can stay in your silks, but I'm going to move around so I can show you how to make a waterfall. So if you'd like to add an inversion to your practice, you can come back and lie down in your silk. And then in order to give yourself a place to rest your feet, you're going to wrap the fabric around this way. Make a little foot rest. Oh, might need to move the fabric a little after that. And you can just come back into a waterfall. This is going to be where I take Shavasana. If you would like to take a more traditional Shavasana and just come out, you're free to do that as well. We'll just take a few moments to unwind. Realize I forgot to set an intention during this practice. Maybe you remembered, maybe you didn't. But whatever your intention was, you showed up and you got on the silks. And you worked hard with me. And I appreciate you for that. I did not feel like doing this workout, but I got through it thanks to you. So thank you, friend. Now be quiet. Okay. If you're ready, ever so slowly come back to lying in your silk if you're in a waterfall position. Just take a moment to do a few crescent shapes. Just come back. Whenever you're ready, come back to a seat. Turn around. You can see you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice. I hope that this one was a bit more challenging for you, and I hope that you felt the burn. I know I did. But thank you again so much for making me a part of your aerial journey. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you like, you can find me on Instagram, and I would love to watch your progress. Thank you so much. Namaste.